Hello, everybody. Welcome to our story sharing session tonight. I'm Julie Flygar. I'm the president and CEO of Project Sleep here in Los Angeles, California. And so excited tonight to have a very special guest with us, Alexa, and she is joining us from Mexico. Hi, Alexa.
Hi, Julie.
How are you tonight?
I'm great, thanks. I am super nervous.
That's okay. That's all right. We're so excited and so grateful for you for working through feeling nervous to share. I know that will resonate with a lot of people that are watching. So as you guys are finding our video tonight, please share where you're watching from. We'd love to see, Alexa won't be able to see during the broadcast, but afterwards for her to go back and see all the different locations where people are tuning in from is really, really special. And also, please share the video and like it. Give us lots of hearts. Hit the heart button, as my niece would say, and comment as things that she's sharing tonight resonate with you. All of that feedback is just super meaningful for us. And just a few quick reminders that Alexa is sharing her story for education and awareness purposes, but we are not healthcare professionals. So if anything tonight from the presentation sparks any questions for you about your own medical situation, please bring those to a healthcare provider or your narcolepsy specialist. And remember, of course, that the comments with the video stay public. So you would only want to share stuff in the comments that you would want to share publicly. So that's just a quick reminder. And we're really excited to have Alexa share her essay. Right before she gets started, though, I just want to give a few quick Project Sleep updates. So it's been a very, very busy few weeks at Project Sleep and for all of you guys, because I feel like we've been asking a lot of people recently. Here in the US, we've been doing a huge advocacy project, our yearly Congressional Sleep Letter, to get members of Congress signed on to a letter saying that they support the priorities of the sleep community, sleep and sleep disorders research and awareness. And so we're almost finished with that, but we did get an extension of the deadline till Tuesday to get representatives signed on. So if you've already been working on that, please follow up with your representative's office to see if you can get your representative signed on. And of course, email us if you have any questions about that project. And your advocacy has been incredible this year, so we can't wait to report back more of the results soon. And thank you guys for taking the narcolepsy and idiopathic hypersomnia survey we've been doing. The deadline for the survey is tonight at midnight. So if you are a person living with narcolepsy or IH and haven't yet taken the survey, please, please, please take it. It should only take about 10 minutes. It's mobile phone friendly and it's international. So please take the survey if you haven't. Tonight is your deadline. And thanks to all of you who have already taken the survey. And what else? The deadline, if you enjoy hearing Alexa's story tonight and you'd like to possibly share your story through Rising Voices of Narcolepsy, the deadline to apply for the program for this summer's trainings is this week, April 15th. I think that might be Friday. So Friday's the deadline to apply. So with that, I think we will go ahead and get started with Alexa. All right, my dear, I'm going to go ahead and pull up your essay. So Alexa did the writing track of our program last summer to share her story through an essay. And so I'm going to pull up her essay here on my screen so you guys can read along as she reads her story. And then, of course, we will do Q&A afterwards. So here I have it up. Alexa, can you see your essay okay on your end and everything?
Yeah, I can.
All right, take it away.
Okay, thank you. So, I remember the first time I was abducted by aliens. In early 2019, when I was in my first year of college, I went to bed at my dad's house at 11 p.m. When I was falling asleep, a flying saucer came flying above my house. A penetrating and piercing white light emerged out of the lower part of the spacecraft until it reached my whole body. and my body rose towards the origin of that light. Suddenly, I was in a purple room tied to a chair in which I couldn't move. Fear was taking over me. A bunch of dark creatures approached me, and as soon as they were about to touch me, I was able to move, and those images vanished. I became aware of my surroundings and realized I was completely drenched with sweat. On these and many other nights, the aliens appeared over my house and abducted me. When I tried to tell people about what I was experiencing, they had a hard time believing it. I needed to know what was wrong with me, so as a grade 19-year-old, I Googled alien abduction, and you'd be surprised at the search results. This was the first time I ever came across with the word narcolepsy. These horrifying experiences during the night made it difficult for me to feel productive during the day. Sometimes I didn't feel like I was safe. Being a college student studying pharmaceutical sciences, there was already a lot of pressure on me in school. I always tried to act as normal as possible so I could fit in with the people around me. My generation is heavily influenced by social media and the fact that I grew up surrounded by all these perfect pictures, publications, and videos of how we should look or how we should act just made it more difficult. I put a lot of effort into having the same amount of energy as the other students, but I was having these terrifying experiences at night, as well as feeling irresistibly sleepy during the day. I'd always been somewhat sleepy, and my parents thought that it was usual for a kid. While growing up, I began comparing myself to other people of the same age and started wondering why I always felt so tired and sleepy, or why I couldn't get through the day without taking at least one nap. I have always loved hanging out with friends, but in college, I had to choose between getting my homework done or going out with my friends. I began having trouble staying awake while driving to class. Sometimes I even parked my car for a few minutes because my eyes were so heavy and I needed a few minutes nap. One day, I even fell asleep while I was stopped at a red light. These feelings and experiences did not match the definition of a normal girl. Shortly after the abduction started happening, I decided to talk to my parents about how bad I was feeling and how much my nighttime hallucinations and daytime sleepiness were affecting my life. I told them about my Google search and that I thought I had something called narcolepsy, but they truly believed I was exaggerating. The same week I talked to my parents, I was driving home from college and felt a terrible blow to the head, followed by an extreme jerk to the neck. I woke up behind the wheel, realizing that I had caused not one, but two serious car crashes. Even though everyone involved was fine, I remember feeling completely shattered. My accident made my parents take my concerns seriously, and they took me to my first neurology appointment just before I turned 20. After a bunch of tests, the specialist told me I have a condition called narcolepsy type 1, one of the two types of narcolepsy. Looking back, I realized I had been experiencing narcolepsy symptoms for years before getting a diagnosis. While getting my diagnosis seemed like the end of a long road, my journey of learning about my condition and understanding my symptoms was just beginning. I found out that narcolepsy is a neurological condition that affects how the brain regulates the sleep wake cycle. The excessive daytime sleepiness I had been experiencing, like when I got in the car accident, is a primary symptom. But there are lesser known symptoms that can affect people with narcolepsy's quality of life. As a person with narcolepsy type 1, I also experienced a symptom called cataplexy, which is a sudden muscle weakness caused by strong emotions. The first time I was aware of my cataplexy was when I was in college class. I remember being stood up when something made me laugh so hard that my knees fully buckled. I couldn't stop laughing and I couldn't stand up either. People with narcolepsy type 2 do not have cataplexy. I finally had a name for the alien abductions too. They were hypnagogic and hypnopompic hallucinations, which can be visual, auditory, or tactile, and are often accompanied by sleep paralysis, which would also happen to me when I would wake up in the middle of the night, unable to move. Around the time I received my narcolepsy diagnosis, I started separating from my friends and feeling worse. There is a huge lack of awareness around sleep disorders in Mexico, so my friends, teachers, and family did not believe me when I talked about my symptoms. I think they sometimes still have trouble in believing it. Some of them told me they were also sleepy people, and others insisted I was making up all those sensations or that I was dreaming. And I understood their skepticism. How could they believe me? We are used to seeing stories of perfect lives on Instagram or TikTok. These kinds of stereotypes of how young women live made me even question myself. I felt like I needed to look a certain way, act a certain way, and meet certain goals in a certain time. I wondered, could I ever be enough despite having narcolepsy? Could I ever have a job? I knew there were 3 million people worldwide affected by narcolepsy, but I didn't know any of them. And I felt so lonely. Clearly, a diagnosis was just the beginning of my journey. I started treatment with stimulants and that did not work the way the neurologist and I expected. We tried mixing different stimulants with antidepressants, which also did not work. I began looking for other specialists who could help me, which is very difficult and expensive in Mexico. During this time, I cannot play sports, go to school, and study for an exam all in the same day, like seemingly everyone around me could. I cannot go to all of the parties my friends went to, and I saw so many Instagram stories of a bunch of 21-year-olds hanging out, and I couldn't be with them without feeling like I'd been awake for 72 hours. The despair of loneliness and the constant changes of medications were messing with my body and mind. Honestly, I thought I would never feel better, and I didn't see a way out. Through this time, I seldom spoke out about my narcolepsy diagnosis. People around me tended to stigmatize it because it had to do with sleep. They often thought I was exaggerating about my need for sleep, which made me feel embarrassed by it. A year had gone by when, a few days before turning 21, I met my current neurologist. He achieved what no one else had in a year and prescribed me the right medication. He also gave me a couple of life lessons. He told me I should never compare myself to anyone, and most important, I should never feel bad for having narcolepsy. I started deciding what things I see and believe on social media. I started to get involved with organizations and accounts related to narcolepsy awareness. I even created a narcolepsy awareness account on Instagram. I joined an amazing community of people with narcolepsy that support each other. Now, I know that every day is one step further in my progress. I can't avoid being constantly worried about my future, though. My head fills with doubts and thoughts about how I will face working or having children, which makes me feel very scared. Sometimes I can't avoid still feeling at a disadvantage compared with everybody else. Sometimes I think about all the things I have missed during my youth. I'm 21 years old, and people say I am living in the best time of my life. But honestly, that puts a lot of pressure on how I should be living. Having an amazing support network makes everything easier. It reminds me of all the great things I've gained from living with narcolepsy. Having the opportunity of connecting, speaking, and empathizing with other people living with narcolepsy makes me feel part of something. Hearing the stories of all those brave moms, dads, sisters, brothers, teachers gives me hope for what is coming next. I deeply thank my parents, brother, grandparents, sorry,
You're okay. Take your time. I understand. I'm crying too.
Okay. I deeply thank my parents, brother, grandparents, uncles, cousins, friends, and my neurologist for having my back throughout this journey. I am truly blessed for having all of you. I know I am a powerful woman with my own qualities and strengths. Despite all those social media images, I know it is okay not to be okay. It is okay to be different and to not have the seemingly perfect life an online influencer shows. I have learned it is fine if I am not the stereotypical girl society or Instagram says I should be. For me, the greatest encouragement is knowing that telling my story is one step in the spread of narcolepsy awareness. I do not choose to have narcolepsy, but I choose how to live with it. And I am sharing my story today as a part of Rising Voices of Narcolepsy, a program of the nonprofit organization Project Sleep, which empowers patient advocates to share their stories and improve public understanding of narcolepsy, which will not be able if we did not have Julie.
Thank you, Alexa. Great job. I'm gonna end that. Great job. I'm clapping on behalf of many other people on Facebook. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing today. Please, folks that are watching, please go ahead and type your questions into the comments on Facebook so we can send those over to Alexa. So I just wanted to share, you have people tuning in from, oh, sorry, I should have got my Kleenex. People are tuning in from across the United States and in Japan and in Mexico. So very, very exciting. And thank you guys. We have lots of people from Mexico. So pretty awesome. And so as you guys go ahead and send over your questions, we've prepared a few questions to ask Alexa first. So you mentioned that you started an Instagram account, and I think your references back to social media in your essay are really, really powerful because we all do this. We all look at Instagram and then think that that's reality, and it's hard to figure out that that's not, for any of us. So, but then creating accounts around awareness and creating your own account. So, what is your account, and how has that experience been?
So basically, I started an account called Narcolepsy Mexico, and I thought that no one would follow me. and, and then people started following me around the world. And also, I think just one people from Mexico who has narcolepsy, which is, I don't know, mind blowing. And then people started to reach me and ask me about, I don't know, my how I feel, or if so we can relate with each other. And they also ask me, I don't know, about my medication or my doctor. So I decided to start this account because I don't know, I think when I first discovered that I had narcolepsy, maybe I would love to have an account in Mexico, so I can, I don't know, I think it could be easier for me, you know. Mm-hmm. So that's why I started that account.
That's so good. We're so proud of you. And it's so cool that people are finding you.
Yeah.
Um, so, and people can follow you. And we'll make sure that we put the link to that account in the notes.
Yes, of course. Thank
Yeah. More followers. Um, so you said that your family was supportive and that that one of the challenges that you face, and a lot of people face this in different countries, but maybe even more so there, was to help to get accommodations for your school. Um,
Yeah.
so tell us about that.
So yeah, first of all, my family has been the best. I am so lucky, really, if they are seeing me right now. And also, yeah, as I already mentioned, there is a huge lack of awareness in Mexico about sleep disorders. And regarding the school accommodations, I don't think I have school accommodations. Well, my mom went to my college and talked to the principal of my career, and told her like Alexa has narcolepsy and you need to understand. Like if you do not know, you can go ahead and Google it. And I am gonna like she brought all my medical stuff and the phone number of my neurologist, and she gave those to this teacher and told her like if you have any doubts you can feel free to contact Alexa's neurologist, but I mean like this is a real thing and I don't care, you need to support her. And she actually did, but
She's,
because my mom forced her or like,
your
yes.
mom sounds like an amazing person. She really advocated.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has been there for me.
I was curious how you found your your new neurologist that seemed to help more. Did you have to research to find a different one, or how did you even know that maybe you should see someone different?
Yeah, so it was really tough because so I went to my first neurologist, which he told me I have narcolepsy, and then as I already said, also we started with many meds, and then I was feeling really really bad, and then I went to other neurologists that I found out like on internet on the same hospital, and then I went to other neurologists. So this was the third one, and a year had gone by and I was feeling really bad, and I was, yeah, so everything was wrong. And then I posted an Instagram story that says if someone knew a neurologist specialized in narcolepsy or a great neurologist. And then a girl which was with me in school, in high school, which is called Carla Gomez, gave me the phone number of the neurologist that um, treated her mom a few years ago. And she told me, actually, many people gave me phone numbers, but I don't know, like I felt a connection with Carla. And I, I mean, I said, I am going to try again, and I did not went. I did not go. Sorry, with that neurologist. I was looking up for I don't know his information on Google, and I came across with my current neurologist. I don't know. I just found out him in internet, and I decided to pay him a visit, and I am still with him.
Wow. Well, that's really cool. It's like almost like social media helped, but then you did your own research ultimately.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, that's really great that people really responded when you asked that question, you know, that had some
Yeah.
ideas. That's great. Well, we're glad you found a better doctor. It's really challenging to find specialists that really understand and know some of the better treatment options. Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Um, and so we have lots of questions. We have a few questions coming in and we have lots of comments. Some are in Spanish, which I'm not going to be translating that. We will love to have Alexa come back if she will be willing to share her story in Spanish later this year, probably in conjunction with World Narcolepsy Day. So, well, I'm asking her sort of right now. So we should have people tune in for that too. But let's see. So then I had a question. So you're a pharmacy student. Did you
Yeah.
make the decision because you knew you had narcolepsy, or did you decide that before you knew, or how was that played into your
No, yeah, I decided before I knew, like, I don't know, I have always loved medicine, and that's why I chose the career that I am studying. And then when I found out that I had narcolepsy and I was taking all those meds, I became obsessed with Googling everything that I was taking. I still do. I don't know.
How do you feel like your experience when you are learning in school? Do you feel like it's reflective of your personal journey? Um, or do you feel like that it should be more, the education should maybe be more patient centered in any ways?
Well, so being able to study what I study and I don't know, comparing it with my life living with narcolepsy, I think, I don't know, I think it has gave me more skills or weapons to understand better what I have. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mhm. To better understand your narcolepsy experience as a person living with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think it'll make you a better pharmacist?
I hope it does.
I think so. I think so. That's really cool though. So we're gonna just keep cheering for you. How much longer do you have?
2 years left. So
All right. You can do it. That's so cool. That's so, so cool. Uh, so you talked a little bit in your essay about friendships and social life. And I'm having a feeling that you found some really supportive friends, because there's lots of people on here saying how much they love you and they support you from Mexico. So it sounds like you really built a community. But I know even for me, that initial experience was really challenging of how it affected my social life. And so can you share a little bit more about that?
yeah, so basically, when I was in high school, uh, yeah, and the beginning of my college, it was very difficult for me to go to the things that they invited me because I had to drive and I was very sleepy and I had these crazy headaches, like crazy headaches. And I mean, I didn't tell them what that I don't know what I was feeling because I thought I don't know I felt embarrassed and I didn't know I had narcolepsy at that time. So I started separating from them, and eventually many of them so did not invite me anymore. And I think some of them said that I like yeah that I basically separated from them, but I mean I couldn't control it. But now, as you said, I have great friends which they know what I have and they are super supportive. And I don't know, I'm happy with all of them right now.
That's good. That's the power of knowing what you're going through too, because when you're not diagnosed, you don't have the language to explain. Oh man. So let's see, we have some great questions coming in, and we have a question about what type of narcolepsy, and you have type 1, right? Narcolepsy with cataplexy. And then we have a question about how do you think a friend of a person with narcolepsy could better support their friend?
That's a great question. Um, I feel like, just maybe listening and just be supportive in a way. I don't know if you, I don't really know, like if you feel tired, maybe one day, maybe just understanding what you are going through. I think that's the best support I can get.
Yeah. And flexibility, probably understanding and flexibility with
Yeah,
plans and stuff. Yeah. Have you had any friends that have like looked up about narcolepsy on their own to learn more or do any kind of
I don't know if they had.
yeah. I always
I
think
hope.
that's really nice. That's like a nice show of that they tried to learn on their own a little bit. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, we have a question from your Uncle P, I believe, Uncle P.
Yeah.
And they asked if there is treatment or a cure for some milder types of narcolepsy. So,
Do you want to answer that?
well, there are treatments for all, people with narcolepsy. There are different treatments here in the US, and I am not sure if all of the exact same treatments are available in Mexico. Um,
Yeah, that's also a topic. Uh,
mhm.
we do not have the same meds that you have in the United States or in Europe, actually. But we have some of them.
And so then I think the idea of a cure is really interesting concept. And I think that's kind of where your pharmacy experience is also interesting. I think when people think about treatment, they think it's almost like going to be a cure. We're going to take treatment and just go back to our life. And so have you experienced side effects from medications? And obviously you've had to change medications too to find what works for you.
Yeah, so basically, I experienced a lot of side effects. Uh, when I first started taking meds, I even had like two panic attacks and anxiety attacks, which I have never felt in my life. And I have these crazy headaches, like crazy, crazy headaches. Uh, I even had to take an MRI with contrast of my brain because the headaches were so hard. And yeah, then we changed medication, and now I think I am in the best time I have ever been. I feel great.
That's really good. It's so much more of a journey, than just having the treatments. But it's good that you found a good one. Okay, Taylor in Los Angeles, she wants to know, how did you find Project Sleep?
Yeah, so basically, when I found out I had narcolepsy, I became obsessed with Googling everything about narcolepsy and hallucinations and alien abductions. And I found out Project Sleep, and then I found out this program. And when I first applied, I thought you will never contact me back. And then months later, I received your email saying that I can be in the program. So basically, I became obsessed, and I just started Googling. That's how I found out this amazing platform.
Actually, I remember the thing I always remember about your story were these alien abduction, the hypnagogic hallucinations you were experiencing. And I remember you sharing a little bit about, you know, that was really, that was hard in Mexico to talk about maybe. Tell us about some of that.
Yeah, so many people and some of my friends told me I was dreaming, like one or two, because I do not, I didn't talk about it. It made me feel embarrassed. And also, many of them told me I was having, I don't know how to say it in English, like projections, I don't know, astral projections, or I don't know, something like that, related with a more spiritual thing. So I was really afraid.
Were there any like religious kind of connotations?
Not religious one, but spiritual ones. So basically, I don't know how to call it. Like when your soul, I don't know, gets out of your body, and then you can see yourself
Yeah.
uh, in your bed. Like you leave your body or something like that. That's what many people told me I was experiencing.
Wow. Well, yeah, and there's a real, well, there's a different, not real, there's a different explanation for the reason that you're having them. So,
Yeah.
okay, Maria. Oh, and also your grandparents are cheering you on. People just want you to know how strong you are and how much they love you and how amazing that you are. And that you are a pioneer in Mexico for helping people with this condition. And so here we have Maria would like to know, what do you think is the biggest stigma or myth surrounding narcolepsy that you'd like to see change?
I would definitely say sorry that everything related with sleep. So the stigma that my the way I feel tired, it's the same way you feel tired. And when I am sleepy, it's the same sleepiness that you have. That's the greatest stigma. I- Um, I mean, I think it's still hard for my loved ones to understand me, and I know they make a huge effort, and I appreciate, and I love them so much. But I think that's the stigma that we feel the same sleepiness that everybody else.
So that you want to point out that it's different, right? It's a different kind of sleepiness,
Yeah,
not the same.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Um, okay, we have a question about what's the difference between type 1 and type 2. So I know you did mention that in your essay, but do you just want to share again the difference between type 1 and type 2 narcolepsy?
Yes, so basically, type 1 is narcolepsy with cataplexy, which is a sudden muscle loss. And if you have narcolepsy type 2, you do not have cataplexy. That's the difference.
And how is your cataplexy? I was wondering, you said that you first experienced that with laughter, and you have a beautiful sentence about that in, you know, wanting to laugh, but also feeling so weak. How is your cataplexy now?
My, it's I don't know if I can say great, but I do not have many. Well, I do have cataplexy attacks, but they are very like they are not strong, and sometimes it is hard to people to see them. But many times my head like goes like this a little bit, and then yeah. So one day I was in college, and I was with this friend called Rodrigo, and he told me like, Alexa, what happened to your knees? And I told him like, I don't know, this happens to me a lot. And he was like, weird. Yeah, that's the first time I became aware of my knees being buckled.
Yeah. So you kind of experienced it, but you thought maybe it was just normal, like a normal sensation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that's different. For me, I felt like it was very strange. I remember the first time I felt it and thought, oh, this is different. Like, this is not normal. But I know many people have experiences like you where they say, I didn't know, maybe everyone else's knees buckle when they laugh. Yeah. Yeah. So then let's see, Valeria would like to know, how can we help you and other people that are suffering from narcolepsy?
Uh, I think for me, just being there for me, and I always talk to try to raise awareness in just like by talking to people about it. I don't know, with your family, um, at dinner or something. Maybe try to talk about sleep disorders or in general.
I'll add that Alexa is a trained advocate that can share her story too. So if people would like to have her share her essay or her story to other communities, that she might be willing. we've gotten her on Facebook Live, so you please share this video of her, and she could always speak to schools or others or other people. So if you have any opportunities for her too, I think that would help her spread the word more, even more to more people.
Yeah, actually, before the pandemic, I talked to my the director of my career, and I told her like we have this thing in college where it's a week full of conferences for the students that study scientific careers, and I told her like uh, maybe we can invite someone, like you can choose it, or it can be maybe my doctor, or I don't know, you can choose it, but to talk about sleep disorders, because we talk about diabetes and many things. And she was like, I don't know, Alexa, let me see with let me talk to this person and this person, and I don't know, i I hope we can do that when this whole pandemics
Mhm.
finish.
Yeah, well, sleep disorders affect 1 in 5 people. So they're really not that uncommon. And narcolepsy affects 1 in every 2,000 people, which isn't all that uncommon either. So, yes, we got to get you speaking in more places and continue to raise your awareness through your story too, because storytelling is so powerful. You've moved all of us so much today, so no one will forget your story. That's tuned in. So we have Karina from Peru says hello. And she was wondering if you practice any sports. Do you play any sports?
Actually, I do not play sports. I just make exercise. And a few years ago, I played football, and it was great. Like, but I do not play sports right now.
Do you get outside to walk or anything? Or
Like in I do like gym stuff. Yeah, that's what I do.
and do you nap?
Yeah, yeah, but I tried not to, but I nap a lot. Yeah, especially if I have an exam, I nap like 2 hours in the afternoon, and then I start studying. That's the thing I do.
Yep, I feel you on that. Let's see. So, Grecia would like to know, do you think sharing this kind of information can raise awareness, even though we don't have sleeping disorders? So, can people help you share? I think so.
Yeah, I do.
Because the interesting thing is, you never know when one of your friends, this happened to me. I don't know if Alexa, this has ever happened to you, where a friend of a friend ends up finding out that you have narcolepsy, and those connections can come through anyone, you know. So have have you found any of that in serendipity, or kind of like on Instagram or anything, where people have said, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you had that, and then they learn more?
Yeah, many people actually have asked me, people who know me, like I didn't know you have narcolepsy, and some people ask me about it, and it's great.
Yeah.
But I do not know a single person uh, in Mexico who has narcolepsy. I don't know why, but I
Oh,
hope I meet one
okay,
day.
we gotta change that. That's all right. We're gonna report back on that because that'd be very cool if you could meet someone else in Mexico. Yeah, I guess your doctor would know, but that would be, yeah, gotta find a way for you to meet. Okay, Rodrigo would like to know how has narcolepsy changed the way you perceive yourself?
Um, I think I always thought uh, I had something wrong, and when I began to compare myself was really difficult. And then when I found out, I perceive myself like a very strong person, actually, and I love that.
I agree. You're an incredible woman. We're so proud of you. Um, I think that's the questions that we have. Got a lot of questions. This has been quite an engaging audience. You guys are amazing. And let's see, I just want to make sure that we have everything, that I've kind of addressed everybody's questions. There's so many great comments. So thank you again, everybody who tuned in. And most importantly, thank you, Alexa. We're so proud of you. And I know you were nervous, and I hope you will feel that this was a good experience and that it's worth it to work through those nerves, because your story is so important and will really continue to make a difference.
Yes, so basically, this has been one of the best experiences I have ever had in my life. And also, I want to, because I do not see any of the comments right now, but I just want to say to everyone that's watching, and I know some of my friends, I am going to cry again, and my family, and my grandparents, and my uncles, and my brother uh, are watching me. So I just want to tell you that I am super blessed for having all of you. Um, Thank you so much. And I love you guys.
That family support is so meaningful, and a friend support. So even though I'm not like your friend, like your family, I feel like that means a lot to know that your friends and family showed up for you. So
Yes.
yeah. Okay, well, a shout out to Lauren, our program manager, who worked with Alexa a lot on preparing for tonight, and Alexa for doing such hard work to get ready to present your story. And we will have you come back and do this in Spanish, I think,
Yes.
closer to World Narcolepsy Day. So that's a good opportunity too for people, your friends and family, to think about supporting you around World Narcolepsy Day. Maybe there could be something special to do to help raise awareness around that day as well.
Yes. Perfect. I would love to.
Okay, guys, thank you all for tuning in. And thank you, Alexa, for sharing tonight. And we'll see you again in a few weeks for another story.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, good night. Bye, everybody. Bye, Alexa.
Bye.